What's going on, 49er faithful? This is Aaron Wilson for Inside the 49 after another 49ers win that we squeaked by against the Los Angeles Raiders 37-34. The Niners are on a 9-game winning streak and sitting atop of the NFC West, and they are 12-4, and they were not going to get bumped from that NFC West title that they secured week or two ago. Chris, how you doing today?
I'm doing okay. Better than the Niners were doing on Sunday after their however many tables they had at Tao on Saturday night, staying up till 6 a.m. or whatever, because they did not come to play on Sunday, that's for sure. But
No.
we were good enough that it doesn't matter as long as we're playing a backup quarterback who's never played before.
Yeah, who balled out? I mean,
who totally owned our defense?
Our defense, the number one defense in the league.
Well, I don't know. It was.
It was. Yeah. After that, we don't know if that's the case.
I haven't looked.
I don't think I want to look, although we will be looking right now at some film. So today what we're going to do is the same thing as last week. We like that format. Hopefully you guys like that format as well. We're going to take down some of the most significant plays and break them down from this all-22 view. Let you guys know what we think they're trying to run on defense or on offense, and what worked and what didn't. So we got some good and we got some bad, but we do have a dub, and that's what really matters. So a first play that you are going to see on screen here is going to be the touchdown pass on the first drive. So we're starting on the first drive for this. So the one thing that you see right off the bat is the fact that they are going super heavy on the offensive line. The fact that they even brought in an extra offensive lineman. If you see on this bottom side, 77, there's an extra lineman. So they're going heavy, which they're trying to make us believe that they're going to run. As we know, that wasn't the case. They went play action, but they're going super heavy with two tight ends, only Davante Adams at wide receiver and Jacobs in the backfield, and we bid on it. So let's run it once, and then we'll go ahead and break it down and come back.
Yep.
Here we go.
Huff, what?
All right. So we have a problem. We have a safety who's looking in the backfield again, which is going to be a problem for us.
Yeah, but even starting off here, the way that they line up like in a perfect way for this play, right? So they have Davante Adams on the cornerback that we want him to be on.
Correct.
On the boundary side of the field, leaving the field side open. And two potential receivers on that side, including Waller, who might as well be a wide receiver, Yeah. So they're in a situation where if we're in our regular defense, they're going to expect our linebackers to be, trying to move up the line at the snap and stop at what they're thinking is going to be a run either up the middle or to the right side, which, Huff is up even farther than the linebackers are.
Yeah.
And his obvious responsibility is to cover the second tight end, which he doesn't do.
So again, we talked about this last week. Usually the cornerback is going to have number one, so the first wide receiver to the closest to the end line, and then number two is going to go to the safety. So in this situation, you're looking at Waller 83 is going to be covered by Lenore here on the bottom, and you have Hufanga is going to be covering 87 come out. So
usually, unless Waller goes like straight vertical, and their number two goes like straight lateral, and they hand off. And they'll have Lenore in the flat, but most of the time the safety's gonna be covering the number two there.
All right, so
you also have someone has to be paying attention to 77, but it's they need 2 yards here, so that's more of a play that you would call in the red zone than you would on the 20.
On the 20. Yeah. All right. So as we play it, we see the play action.
So his first step is back. Hufanga.
Yeah, Hufanga's first step is back.
And then Lenore's at because I haven't seen this play yet, other than unfortunately when it happened.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess their defense is a little bit different.
Yeah. So again, this could be Hufanga's fault. This could be Lenoir's fault. We're not sure who is supposed to take Waller coming out. We don't know the defense that they're calling it. But what we do see from here.
Oh yeah, I mean it's almost got to be Lenoir. I mean the way Lenoir just totally left Waller there as soon as he saw. I mean it could be when he saw the second tight end go into block, or it could just be generally that although when you're in a normal, like on like a first down or something like that, when you normally he would be in the flat. Here he has a little more latitude to stop the ball carrier before he gets first down on a. I'm not sure if was this a third down and 2, I assume. If we bid this hard.
Yeah. All right, so right off the bat, we see the block down by 87, the other tight end, and we see the problem is nobody has their eyes on 83. On Waller coming out.
Wow, I mean that really. If you just look at the way that Hufanga plays it, so he takes a step. His first step is back, and then he's not even looking at the wide receiver. So he takes one step back and he's staring the backfield. He doesn't even see that Waller is 2 feet or 2 yards to his left.
Yeah.
He's not paying any attention to that until now. Until
Yeah.
It's
and he realizes. Yeah, he realizes now, and then it's.
He might, and honestly, if you're gonna be in that situation, you might as well just tackle him.
Yeah.
Because you're not gonna catch him.
That's true. You're not gonna catch him. Yep. You're not fast enough to catch up with him. He's got a step or two on you. He doesn't have the wheel to catch up with him.
And so Lenoir goes. He turns around to cover the. So I don't know. I mean, he knows exactly where it's going, right?
Yeah. As soon as he sees the boot, that's the boot. He knows where it's going.
But it's sort of odd that he doesn't go towards the quarterback. So he must have had some type of responsibility that Warner picked up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I mean, he's obviously like, what is he gonna? He's not gonna catch up to anybody here.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he's turning around because he's going to cover 87.
Maybe.
But then just knows where the ball is going. But he, if he didn't have any responsibility, he should be going at the quarterback to try to break up what's going to be a simple touchdown.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess the assumption is that he has 87. I guess let's look at these the original get off by Waller. I mean, Waller does get vertical originally, so maybe that's the key. And he sees him get vertical, like you talked about before, and that means Hufanga takes him. And then now he has 87 coming out. I mean,
and then he gives up on 87 because he was in the block. But then as soon as he sees, maybe that's what it is. Because as soon as he sees that 87 just goes into block and then comes back out, then he's facing the wrong direction, which sort of looks weird. But he's sort of trying to get in his way, and then quickly notices that there's a wide open tight end / wide receiver running toward the end of the zone.
Yeah.
But Warner does a pretty good job of. I mean, this play nothing would have happened on this play if they tried to run it.
Yeah,
it would have been totally stuffed.
Yeah, it'd be completely stuffed.
Good job by Armstead.
Yeah, you also notice that we're going heavy, so the Niners did make a substitution as soon as they saw that extra lineman come in, so they did go 5 up front, which you don't see the Niners doing a ton unless it's on the goal line. So they did bring in McGill 96 to come in. In order to match up with them. All right, but again, we're looking at the same thing. We're looking at Hufanga. His eyes are in the backfield, and by the time he realizes the boot, it's too late to run with Waller.
And it's pretty obvious what their second tight end's job is to get our outside rusher stuck inside, because all he does is just shove him inside and then run right to the outside.
Yeah,
but Hufanga needs to stop doing this. Because if he wants to play linebacker, he can play linebacker. But if you're going to play safety, you can't have so many touchdowns scored on you just by you not paying attention to the what's going on in the secondary and your primary responsibility. But you can tell that he just wants to hit somebody.
Yeah,
which I love.
Which we love.
Yeah,
we want that.
It's liking, but he's sort of having. I mean, he definitely is not having a sophomore slump over the course of the entire season, but he's having his sophomore slump over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So he's just got to break out of it because it's too important. We
need
him badly.
He will. He's gonna step up. All right. So
I think he will too. He's a bright kid. I'm surprised he hasn't done it already, but I assume that's the last time we're gonna see that happen.
Yeah. Let's hold him to that. All right. So you got Raiders up 7-0. Went down the field like it was as easy as possible. Niners respond. They come back on the other side. They're going to get a touchdown pass to Aiyuk here from Purdy to put the Niners tied up with the Raiders 7-7. Let's run it once, and then we'll break it down. Here we go. Right. Nice pass, nice action, nice play action movement. We'll see how that movement moved the squad on the other side of the ball.
See, so this is, I think how we got here. It was
this was second and goal from the 2.
And
McCaffrey.
First time, didn't we ran with
Mason up the middle.
With Mason again.
Yeah. Mason Mill out of shotgun.
And he got stuffed, but it was like so obvious what we were doing.
Yeah.
So we lost the yard.
Yep.
And they think we're gonna go right back to it, which isn't the worst assumption.
Yeah. Yeah, they do have an extra cornerback out here where they're only sitting with 2 linebackers and 4 linemen. So I mean they have the personnel to cover.
We're in 11.
Yeah.
So they're in the correct defense to match up with our offense, but they are at the goal line where things often change.
Yeah. All right. So right off the bat, you get the motion from McLeod, from motion which moves the safeties. 37, I assume, is a safety on one side. He goes back to be more the single high guy, and they're bumping over. So they have 3 on the right hand side against our 3 with Juwan, McLeod, and Kittle on the right hand side. So we got single coverage with Aiyuk, which is what we want. We got a safety over the top, but he's in the middle of the field. So really, he's not going to be a factor to a large degree.
Yeah, which is sort of silly because there's only one thing that he has to do if he's on that side of the field. And the other safety got really, really quickly out to the outside.
Way far outside.
What's that?
Yeah, way far. You're right. Way far outside.
If we had run something like a return, like right here, if we just like handed the ball off, if we had 3 run return here, with Kittle out in front, that would have been an easy touchdown, on like a sweep type of reverse or end around.
So we get the pre-snap motion, which is good, which moves the defense over. We get the play action, which moves the linebackers. So you can see right here in the middle of the field. Looks like we're getting a blitz, or he's just reading run the whole entire time. The middle linebacker.
I think he's just reading run, and he has he's covering 24. Yeah,
so he's going to go straight off the bat. But look at the other linebackers. So the linebackers are moving up to 2 yards. So that's opening up a nice little spot. Aiyuk with a nice little push that I remember the cornerback asked for the push off. You see Aiyuk right there, trying to get a little separation.
Don't get so high on him next time. If you just keep, I know you're a lot bigger than him, but just keep your hands. If he keeps his hands down here, then it looks like he's getting pushed. But when you get your hands over on top of the corners, and it looks like you're the one who's doing the pushing.
Yeah.
But given some of the push-offs in this game, like Devontae, he's a master.
He's really good. He's really good at pushing off.
At the push-off.
Yeah.
He's like DeAndre Hopkins-esque with his, I didn't do anything.
All right, so we get the play action, which also moves the safety up. So now that Aiyuk can fit himself right back behind that safety. So you'll see the safety 37 even jumps up. He's mad about it. We'll see it from this point of view more. So again, we're getting the pre-snap motion. 37 comes in the middle, and right now.
Well, I mean, what is he doing? He doesn't even have his mouth guard in. He's not ready to play. Yeah. Look at 37. What's he doing? I think he's trying to put his mouth. He's trying to put his mouth guard in like a second into the play.
But look at the distance he's moving up, and that opens up the hole. For a nice pass from Purdy.
Yeah, and that was I mean, he had to fit it in between the, I guess the new safety and the linebacker, and he did it off his back foot. So it wasn't like the easiest of throws, but their safety there, I don't know what he was doing. Maybe his mouth he's like fell out of his mouth or something. I don't know, but he was not paying attention when the ball was snapped. So thank you.
And really reading the run, which because we do like to run on second down and goal.
Yeah.
Even though we shouldn't be, they're really reading the run, and that helped. All right. So
a lot of that was Raiders failure on that play, but then a nice,
but a really good throw,
nice hard throw off balance, real quick by Purdy, into it. Not the widest of windows. So it's a good job on his part.
All right, so we got 7-7. One of the things that I know really ticked me off when I was watching the game was how open a couple of the receivers were. Adams specifically.
Every time we play him, no matter what team he plays for.
Yeah, right. Every single time.
We don't know who he is, so we've yet to learn who he is.
So one of the big things that I want to look at was this dig route by Adams. He's about to run 15, 20 yards.
Like over or something like that.
Something like that. I want to see how did he get so open, and what's the problem, and we'll go from there.
The problem is, although I do like the fact that we have a cornerback who can cover him, who's covering him at the moment.
Yes, it's semi following him.
Why do we stop that? What part of the game is this?
This scores 7-7. They end up kicking the field goal to go up 10-7.
Okay. So early first quarter still.
Yeah. All right. So what you want to do is you want to look at Adams right here on the bottom. How does he get so wide open?
It's first down on this play, I think.
All right. So you get motion.
Okay. So they they figured we're in zone, and they forced 7 off of 17.
Yeah.
By running with a run throw.
Motion.
Whatever his name is. Yeah. The little white guy that everyone was rooting for on Hard Knocks.
There you go. All right. So
that was actually pretty good last year, but then I don't know, and then came back to reality this year.
So you see on the top there, Renfro's running in motion, right? If that's not the case, Ward's gonna be playing. Even if he's in zone, he's gonna be playing on Adams because he doesn't have anybody else to cover. But with Renfro coming across, even though he doesn't do much of anything, but go to the flat and be a check down potentially, that leaves the rest of the defense to figure out how to zone match against Adams. So Adams completely splits linebackers.
They should be thinking about that, but instead he just runs right in between Greenlaw and Warner.
All right.
Like right in between them.
What could they have done if Greenlaw took a step up?
Hit him.
Hit him, right?
Within 5 yards. He's within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. Greenlaw needs to step up one step and knock on his back.
Yeah, and just hit him with your left hand.
And this play is done.
Yeah. All right, so he gets through.
But also Warner is paying him no attention. But Warner's responsibility on this play is 87.
Yeah.
Fairly obviously.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Warner should make up for Greenlaw's mistake there. I mean Greenlaw is really good at playing covering grass. He's got it on lockdown.
Lockdown. All right. So
there's no one anywhere near him, and he's like totally unaware that he just allowed the number one wide receiver to run across the formation.
Adams even had to avoid both of them. He split them down the middle.
And it's like it's like they're like just totally ignored him. Yeah. Now, what are they doing on the top to draw our safety out? So there's clearing out.
Yeah,
that's it, huh?
That's all he's doing is clearing out. Now, there's got to be.
Now, I mean, you can also blame. I mean, there's something to be said about is it Gipson there?
Yeah.
I mean, like, what is he worried about? I mean, I get maybe because Lenoir is like slowly running, but
he's got him covered.
I mean, he's running the route for him unless he's going to run a post here. I mean, maybe it's a size difference, but Gipson, it's perfectly timed for the Raiders. I don't know if it's like perfectly timed by the Raiders, but for them, because this right now is the exact point where he turns his head and decides he's going to follow the outside receiver instead of looking forward and seeing one of the best wide receivers in the NFL running around our secondary uncovered like he always does.
Yeah.
I mean, and Hufanga in this spot, you know, he's just playing safety, you know? I mean, he's sort of drifting back too far. I don't know what he's worried about.
Yeah, I mean, there's no threat whatsoever on
that
side.
He's just drifting. It's just drifting. I mean, he sees. Yeah, I mean, maybe you can get on him a little bit for. I mean, why isn't he attacking the middle of the field a little bit more, or at least like moving to the middle of the field? Because there's no way that, especially at the end. I mean, there's no way he's going to pull some double move behind him.
Yeah, I mean, even if he's playing a double move, he needs to be another 5 yards up.
Yeah,
you know, pushing up on it, and he can still make do.
Yeah, I mean, why is he so deep when there's nobody even on that side of the field? So, I mean, he stays totally parallel with Gipson. I'll give him that, but there's nobody on his side of the field. So, yeah, it's just a sort of combination of errors here, and then Warner comes up to get the tight end, but then I think maybe he notices the fact that he's uncovered.
No, I don't think so.
He doesn't. No. He's also like what's he doing? What's he worried about? Why are we so scared on this play? We're playing scared. Like why are we so far off of all their players?
Everybody.
I mean, everybody is. Look at. I mean, Lenoir's has a 5-yard head start on his, wide receiver whose name I didn't know before this game, and I mean they're tight.
Yeah, I'm fine with his coverage. I think I'd be the most. He's the one that has the best coverage out of the crew. I would say.
Oh no! I mean, I don't have a problem with it because he knows exactly where the guy's going. I mean, anytime you want to run the route for the wide receiver. I have no problem with that, but it's just sort of the combination of everything. It's like we're 10 yards off of everyone that we're like, why are we giving them some? Why are we playing prevent defense? Except for one who we're not covering.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Ward. Ward is nowhere near run throw, or I mean, he's not like no one's in the play.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Ward's looking for running back coming out of the backfield. I'm sorry, the other Ward, not Travarius.
Oh no! I mean, he does probably the best job of anybody.
That's the best coverage ever.
By just standing there and doing nothing, and then just waiting for whoever that is to come out of the backfield, and he's on him fine. Police throw that ball.
So a couple things. Let's talk about what could have gone right. Okay, so obviously a lot of things went wrong. What could have gone right is Greenlaw takes a step up and he hits Adam in the chest and he knocks him over, and then the play's pretty much over, or they have to drop it off. Right? They got to dump it off. Or if he does split them, we have either Hufanga, who's going to start to push up because there's nobody else, no other vertical threats, or it's Gipson decides, oh, Lenoir has this guy Hollins taken care of. I'm gonna go get Adams. It's like we need more people to be on this mindset of it's Devontae Adams. Let's go get him, and we're gonna look.
You don't care that it's him. Like, and it's been an ongoing problem ever since Shanahan's come to San Francisco. Whoever his DC is, we don't pay attention to their good players, and we just treat them like they're just anybody. And like, by definition, their good players are good. And we just ignore that. But I mean, really, the entire left side of the defense here. I mean, Warner originally, at first is semi-concerned about, and maybe that's the thing, is why he's not paying attention to Adams, is he's worried about the the handoff.
Yeah.
But outside of that, like we have how many people do we have on the left side of the field covering what, a guy behind the line of scrimmage? If you bring it back to the other side, or back to the other sideline view.
Right there.
Yeah.
Definitely on the right side of the field, we got Warner.
Yeah, especially Ward, after he passes by the linebackers. So we have how many defenders do we have on the right side, on left side of our defense?
4. We're 4 against 2.
Against 1.5, or like maybe 2 halves.
Yeah, 2.
I'm pretty sure that we can just put Ward on Renfro and we'll be fine, or put anybody on 87 and we'll be fine.
Yeah, or you could probably have Ward cover both of them and be okay. All right, so let's move on, because that was a little painful to watch from the defense. All right, so that ended up leading to a field goal. Next play we're going to be looking at is positive again. This is going to be the throw to Kittle with our beautiful unnecessary spin move by our quarterback that Chris will go into great detail on that in a second. So let's go ahead and run it first.
Do I have to go into great detail?
You do not.
My dog is here. He wants to comment on it. So I assume that this is his quote unquote big time throw of the game. So says PFF. But
this is an interesting look for them coming off the bat, and I like it on the 2-yard line. Let's. I like to see a running back in the backfield with them, so you could hand off against that light of a box. I mean, that would be my play in the situation, but I like
you do so much of that, right? It's like you're widening out the defense so much, but then you're not putting someone in I mean, unless you're thinking that they're thinking that the quarterback could run it, but you need some type of rushing threat in the backfield that's going to have the players, somewhat focused on that as a potential threat.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what they're trying to do right off the bat, right from the start. All right. I like the wide stack look from with Kittle and 2 wide receivers. I haven't seen that too much this year from them.
The down here was what?
You always call me out. I don't write the down. I write the score and everything, but I don't write the down.
Well, I'm trying to think. What was the situation? And I might remember.
That's supposed to be your job. It's 3rd and goal from the 2.
Okay.
Third and goal from the 2. So 3rd and goal from the 2. Right off the bat, we're looking to the trip side. He's looking at Kittle.
Yeah. So over the last couple of weeks, we were running a lot of these trips, 3-man plays. I mean, a lot of them. And this isn't necessarily the prettiest one.
No, Jennings is a little hot with he hops to wait. I guess he's waiting for Aiyuk to clear, but Aiyuk is faster than Jennings, so he shouldn't be waiting for him to clear.
I think he's doing that. So he's trying to lock the defender in against him, but I don't know why. Oh, yeah.
He's running the return route.
Yeah.
He's running the return route. There you go.
Yeah,
which is wide open.
Yeah, he's trying to get that guy locked in on him, and then he's gonna and then that guy's gonna have to come cover Kittle, or he's going to just leave him wide open. And it's actually not that bad. It's a really ugly looking concept.
It sure isn't pretty.
Yeah,
but it actually worked.
It's actually fairly effective against three guys and deep safety who's really got the back of the end zone there necessarily. For some reason. So if we're gonna go for like a 40-yard pass here, he's all over it.
So Kittle comes across the middle, trying to draw the defenders in. You'll see.
He 12 guys are covering him.
Yeah, he does a great job of that. He's got 3 guys on him. Jennings is running,
and he still catches his touchdown on this play.
Yeah,
even with all the focus.
So you see on the bottom of the screen, Jennings is running a return route, and he's actually wide open.
But well, obviously,
but Purdy's already out of the pocket, which he should not be. Look at that pocket, guys.
What is he? Yeah, what's he doing? I mean, like he sees what's his face? A really overrated defensive end from the white guy. I can't remember his name. Whatever. Like he's stupidly spin moving into McGlinchey because he has no idea what he's doing. He's never watched McGlinchey play football before, and he's like, "I'm just going to make this as easy as possible on you, and I'm going to spin move into you." Like, good job, bro. That's an all. That guy got to be all pro, and Nick Bosa did not last year.
All right, so he goes spin move. All right, so Purdy should be looking what he should be doing, right?
You want to go spin move? Watch my spin move.
So
you could just step up into the pocket and throw an easy touchdown pass to 15 if you want to.
Yeah, I mean, so Purdy's eyes should be here. They should be Kittle first, draw the defense.
Yeah, he's out, looking to the right side. Everything to the left is just unless you see something in the line of scrimmage, it's just eye candy,
Yeah. So you should look directly at Kittle first.
Why is he scared already?
Jennings, and then to Jennings. All right. He doesn't get Jennings. All right, but he doesn't look to Jennings first, right? So then he decides to spin move out. We will know. We will never know why, but it did look pretty. I'll give him that. All right.
It did not look pretty. I was like, what are you doing? He loves spinning.
He extends the play. All right, Kittle extends the play. He's not open.
Man,
he keeps on working on the field.
Throwing this ball right here is questionable. And where he everything about this is just don't do this again, please. I think you remember my look when it happened. I was just like, okay, that happened. But we will accept the outcome of that play.
Yes, we will accept the Kittle touchdown, but it was not the prettiest in the world. Yeah,
I mean that sort of reminded me of the was it 2018 throw from Garoppolo to Pettis on the first game of the game against Minnesota, where he's like spinning around and like it just throws out a total it appears to be total desperation, but he's wide open.
Yeah.
But this one like looks like it is total desperation because he throws it to the back of the end zone and Kittle's Kittle's working the front of the end zone.
Yeah, so I think he was kind of climbing as he saw.
Yeah, I mean he had to climb it.
Yeah,
but I mean they dropped 91 back, and he's just Purdy's going to throw this ball to Kittle. I mean as soon as he spins, I mean that's pretty much. I think that's sort of his decision. That's why he spun. He's like, okay, Kittle is eventually going to be open on this play. I'm going to spin around and find Kittle and throw in the ball. And it doesn't really matter what else happens on that side of the field. And
it's touchdown.
It's a perfect pass.
It's a perfect pass.
It's just
after unnecessary.
It's not going to work out that way most of the time, but it was perfect. It was perfection. If it was drawn up, if this play was drawn up, then
we know how it
would have been amazing. But the fact that that was sort of ad-libbed is very, very dangerous. And that's a lot of, I think I was telling you that's a lot of what he did in college. And half the time that would be an amazing play, and half the time it would be he do it in the worst situation and it would get picked. So it was third down. So you can be a little bit more dangerous.
Yeah. All right. So that puts the Niners up 14-10.
Yeah, because the Raiders were kind enough to kick a field goal from like their 1 yard line or whatever.
That's
Thanks for that.
We love that. We love
that. Won't come back. That won't come back to haunt you. I promise.
The other side.
I think I said that at the time. I'm like, that won't come back to haunt you. I'm like, this game is gonna. You think this game is gonna end 10-7? I think not.
All right. So at this point in the game, we're flipping plays. We're moving up. This is the Adams 60-yard touchdown pass. Yeah, I know it's another ugly one, but we want to figure out what happened. At this point, it's 17-14. The Raiders this touchdown ends up putting them up 24-14. Let's go ahead and roll it.
And before you roll it, now that you already have, I'm assuming that if I remember correctly, that they lined up with the running back in the backfield and they motioned him out. And for some reason, we can't figure out that Hufanga should be on the running back and Mooney should be on Davante Adams. Or maybe
it doesn't show it. The autopsy doesn't show it, so can't help you out with that. All right, so let's run it right off the bat.
Okay, so we do our stupid. We wish we were Don Zimmer. Fake double A gap blitz doing a run.
Yeah.
We don't even
referencing. If you haven't watched our stuff before, what Chris is referencing is this double A gap up here with Warner and.
Sorry, I'm talking too fast, as if everyone knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Right.
But we love running this, even though like Warner's one leg is actually both of them. Their one leg is like way back. I mean, their weight is definitely not moving forward. It's either back or it's level. I mean, it's like they're going to be dropping back into coverage. Who they're going to be covering, I have no idea. Especially Greenlaw.
Middle of the zone, middle of grass.
Grass. Yeah. It's like there's nobody there.
All right, so right off the bat, we get the fake. Right, they're dropping back into coverage. We got a single high safety with Gipson playing deep. And it's covered pretty well, right off the bat. As long as Warner gets a little bit more depth, or Greenlaw get a little bit more depth, or Gipson comes down, which he does. Right, that's a nice move by Gipson. Right, he's playing deep. This is third down. He's playing deep. He knows the corners are good to go. He's coming down on Waller. He's trying to get behind the linebackers. All right, so we're in a good spot there. Covered well. We're pretty much double teaming, bracketing Adams in the zone.
Who gets tackled here on the defensive line?
That's the Bosa hold. Yep, there's a hold right there. Yeah, there's a hold right there.
And hey, let's just finish off by tackling him.
And then we'll just land on him.
And the rest are like, can you get out of the way so we can watch the quarterback?
It's actually a hold on the top too against as well. That's even worse hold. Is it a hold in the middle too? Are there 3 holds on the No, I guess you can't give that a hold to who's that?
Yeah, I mean he's double teamed. He's doing a good job of pushing forward. Yeah. On top of the headlock, on bottom we just have a hold and tackle.
Yeah.
And man, Bosa still almost gets to him.
Look at his arm. Yep, look at his arm. All right, so he gets out of the pocket. All right. We're thinking that he's going to run. Is something. He's not anywhere close to the line of scrimmage yet. He's still 7 yards off the line of scrimmage. Hufanga bites, which is the right move. In my opinion, he sees him coming off. He knows he needs to make the tackle. If he runs to the first down. All right, we're still in a good spot. All right, even now we're still in a good spot. But somehow you see Adams. He is if you're counting from the bottom of the third wide receiver coming up here. If you can see my arrow, all right, and he just decides to roll out and leave. And Ward, it looks like Jimmie Ward realizes it, but way too late that he's going to get deep. And makes a throw and a touchdown. Again, 2 holds. And we've lost my brother. No wonder he stopped talking. So I'm sure Chris will join us back here in a minute. But you're seeing right here now that you're looking at two, maybe 5 or 6 seconds of good coverage. You get 2 holds on the top, 5 or 6 seconds of good coverage, and then they lose Adams, and Adams gets behind. And when he gets behind defense, he's going to go. Now, whose fault is this? Is really up in the air, because he's flowing through the defense. But like we said before, somebody needs to be responsible for picking him up, and realizing that he is going to be the biggest threat on the field, no matter what the situation is. So let's look at it from the other side. And Chris will be joining us back here in a minute. All right, so there's the play. Touchdown. He gets deep. All right, Ward can't run him down. Adams is pretty darn good. All right, let's check out it from the other side. All right, again, like we talked about before, you have your double A gap pressure again, or fake pressure again. All right, they come out of it, drop them back into coverage. All right, I want you to look at Bosa on the left-hand side. All right, that is a hold. Okay, you have to let him go. If he's going to beat you like that, you need to let him go. That's going to be a hold. All right, and you got a hold on the other side with Ebukam as well. All right, that's the hold right off the bat. If you're looking at the right, that's definitely a hold with a little bit of headlock. Okay, but look at Adams. Right, Adams is looking for the hole in the zone. He's being pretty much blanketed coverage by Greenlaw and Hufanga. All right, but he keeps on working with his quarterback. Keeps on working, and realizes that nobody's around him. So if nobody's around him, he's going to take it deep. He takes it deep, catches the ball to the house. All right, we don't like to see that. A little breakdown in defense, but we can move forward. All right, so let's go to our next play. All right. For our next play, we're going to talk a little bit more about a breakdown in the defense again. So this time, this is going to be about 20 or so yard pass to Hollins coming across the middle. He's trying to find the spot, the hole in the zone. That's going to beat the Niners. So let's see what he ends up doing. We'll play it first, and then we'll analyze it. All right, Hollins with the catch in the middle of the field. Okay, so what is he trying to do? All right, what are they trying to do on the offensive side of the ball? They are trying to see, they understand that we're in zone, so they want to beat our zone, right? They want to get behind the linebackers. Now, how are they able to do this? So what they're going to do is they're going to hold our linebackers. In that situation, they go ahead and hold Fred Warner. So Warner is in the middle of the field, and he knows he needs to not get deep, not go back. He needs to come up on the running back. And since he comes up on the running back, because that's his responsibility, right, they're able to get in, but they're able to get in behind him. So here we go. Chris is back with us. Let's add him in here for us. All right.
It's not like I don't pay like $250 for internet.
I know, right?
And Comcast is like raising it again on me. Guess what I'm doing right after this is calling them and deleting and canceling my service.
I can't see them.
Yeah. All right, so here we come, baby.
So we move on to the next deep throw by Stidham against the defense. Talked a little bit about.
Hopefully you didn't catch all my profanity there.
No, we missed all that, which is
not really.
we always want to keep it PG. So we're looking at Hollins on the top of the screen and how he's able to get behind our linebackers. So I'm going to play from the jump for Chris, and then we'll talk about it. So he's able to run that deep dig.
Yep. Hollins is their alleged number 2 receiver.
Yes, his last name's Hollins. I'm not sure what his first name is. All right, so like I talked about a second ago, Warner is getting back. He's getting depth, right? But he needs to come up for the running back, right? So that's going to open the zone back behind him. So it's the responsibility of the cornerback and the safety, which is it's Ward and Gipson on this top to communicate to help with that dig route. So as he goes into that dig route, there needs to be communication between who's going to get which of these 2 receivers. Okay, someone's going to need to drive on that dig route, and the other's going to need to take Renfro as he's coming and trying to get deep. So Renfro comes out, he gets deep, and both Ward, Tarvarius, and Gipson go to him as opposed to going the dig route, right?
Yeah, which is I understand that.
Yeah,
yeah, because it's deep, but I mean, and you know, old Ward, Jimmie, you know, he does, you know, he's a vet. He does get a little bit of hand on a little bit to redirect.
He slows him down a little bit. He pushes off.
He tries to redirect the receiver a little bit, but then after that, this is a well drawn up play for a team that's not going to get pressured at all on the play.
Yeah, because that's a long drop.
I don't even know what's happening at the top there with Bosa, but it doesn't look good. And are we rushing 4 guys?
Yeah, 4 guys.
Sorry. The other one's about to sack the quarterback and is getting held.
So that's
okay.
That's actually. It's Bosa on the. So that's Bosa on the bottom.
Okay.
Twist.
Okay, gotcha. So they run the stunt and they hold Bosa. That makes more sense. Okay, so they come in here. Bosa's going to sack him. They're holding. Okay, so I mean, this play takes a really long time to develop, but it's a well designed play if you have a lot of time. But they wouldn't have a lot of time if it was correctly refereed.
Officiated.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm in the middle of saying that. I'm like, umpired.
So the reason why I want to pull this play up is it's another long gain, and it shows that there needs to be a little bit better communication on the back end with not double teaming a man when somebody else is going to come into their zone. So there just needs to be better communication between the safety and the cornerback to ensure that this doesn't happen.
Yeah, I feel like that's going to happen almost all the time if Ward is just covering air.
Yeah.
Stop holding Bosa on every play like of his career.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. We're not going to spend any more time on that.
Actually, could you just show the sideline view one more time? I just want to see if Ward should have done anything different. I mean, he had to stay in to look at where the running back was going. That's why, like the timing was really good because he needs to wait to see because he's got to get the running back if he goes to the flat. So that running back sort of takes up 2 guys, but after that, he doesn't really do it. Like he doesn't. He might as well turn around and see what's going on
and get deeper
because he's not doing anything right now, and he knows he's not doing anything right now, and he doesn't know what's going on behind him, and the quarterback's not going to be running in his direction. And he's about to get sacked. Like Ward just stands there.
Yeah, covering grass.
So I don't really have his. Even though is that Lenore on top or is that Ward?
Lenore's on the bottom. Ward's on the top.
I mean, he is a really long way. I mean, he's a fairly decent distance away from the wide receiver, but he can't let him get behind him.
Yeah,
and that's why it looks sort of weird that both of the defenders are facing the same way, but that's actually the way you're supposed to do it. So
yeah. All right. Next play.
Yeah.
All right. So there's a couple. We're gonna go through 2 plays pretty quickly for the next 2. This is situational. It's 34 situation 34-34 tie ball game. Niners got the ball back and they're driving. They got the ball with about 1:11 left on the clock in this situation. We're looking at 47 seconds left on the clock. I think we're sitting on 2 timeouts. So we need to get about 30-ish yards to try to get in field goal range is the plan, which they execute on that plan. And they executed on that plan effectively. So first play, at both of these plays are going to be nice, solid first downs to Aiyuk. So let's see the first one.
This is a second down, right?
This is second down, correct. Yep.
Okay. We have horrible blocking by McGlinchey. But he gets a lot in time.
Yeah.
This is probably his, I mean, say what you want about the Kittle throw. This is probably his best throw of the game.
Yeah. All right, so let's see what they're trying to do. You got trips on the right-hand side. You're going heavy, but you're going wide. Up top, you think you're getting some form of man coverage with a single high safety back deep on them. So we're going overload on one side, and we're going single with Aiyuk, which looks very similar to what we had in the touchdown play to Aiyuk, right? We're going trips on the right side. We were in twins with Kittle, and then we moved to wide receiver over. But we're going single with Aiyuk. They understand that he's the go-to receiver, unless it's third down for 3rd and 1. All right. So right off the bat, we're getting trips. Looks like we're going pretty vertical.
Yeah. I mean, they have a guy who's sitting in on McGlinchey. I'm sorry, excuse me, on McCaffrey. That was the most horrible insult I've ever given anybody ever. But I was just watching McGlinchey and try to block. And it's just sad.
All right. So you got
they're worried about Kittle. So they have a linebacker, on the inside. But basically they're sort of like bracketing him.
Yeah.
And they're leaving, they have to focus on McCaffrey coming out of the backfield. So they have a guy short on that. Whereas normally you'd have a guy deeper. Yeah. I'm not sure why he's there. He should probably be farther back and break up this play. But he's close to McCaffrey because I don't know, maybe he's worried about McCaffrey getting the ball and putting a move on him or something like that.
Probably. But I mean, I would be too.
Yeah, but with the time and everything, throwing short passes to our running backs behind the line of scrimmage is something that they should want us to do. Yeah. But he does leave a window open there.
All right, so Aiyuk hits a little bit of a post. Looks like everybody's running curls on the other side. This is a great pass.
Yeah, it was barely a post. Barely any.
Yeah, it was a little skinny post. I guess you want to call it a little skinny post.
No, it was more horizontal. I think it's just because he hit him right. He was breaking.
Yeah,
because he had to throw the ball because McClinchy can't block.
All right, so if you're looking at the eyes of Purdy, he's looking right off the bat. He's looking at Kittle, which does a good job of keeping the linebacker over there.
60. What are you doing, buddy? What are you doing?
And Purdy makes a really good pass in tight coverage. I mean, that coverage, look at that corner. I mean, the corner's on him. That's tight coverage. That's the perfect ball where it needs to be.
He's got hands on his back. I mean, and actually, Trent gets really pushed back far into the pocket too. Yeah. But Purdy actually sticks in the pocket on this play.
Yep, that's what we like to see.
Yeah, and he has a nice, window. I mean, not necessarily window in the secondary, but window by his lineman so that he can see the throw and not get knocked down. But yeah, that was probably his best throw of the day.
All right, so now we're set.
This is not his best throw of the day.
All right, so now we're all right. We have first down by Aiyuk. We got to the 45. We need 10 more yards. That's the play. What are we going to do? We're going to go back to the well. We're going to go back to Aiyuk again. Let's run it.
Okay, never mind. I thought you were going to put up another play.
No. We're just gonna run with the two good ones. All right.
Okay.
Let's go back.
Oh, yeah, I guess, yeah. Actually, this is in competition for maybe his best throw of the day.
Yeah. All right. So you got 21. He's following Jennings. You're thinking man coverage, single high safety again is what you're thinking. We got 2 men on the bottom with McLeod and Aiyuk together. We run McLeod to run off, kind of run towards the linebacker, I guess, with a little quick slant S, right, to kind of clear that part of the field out. And another really good pass in tight coverage with a little bit of a push in the pocket to get the first down and to put the Niners in field goal range, which is exactly what they wanted.
And the linebacker knows exactly what's going on here. When he has McLeod running right behind him, he pays him no mind because he knows what
that's right.
And that's crazy. As soon as he like looks like he's going to throw the ball to McLeod, like he's already running towards Aiyuk on the play.
Yeah,
but it's already past him.
Yeah,
and that's it.
And that's
let me see him step into that throw. That's hard. That's a hard throw. I mean, he was having a lot of issues this game with his touch, and he was overthrowing a lot of passes where I don't know if they counted them as drops or not, but they were hitting players' hands, but they're throwing like unnecessarily hard. But this, I mean, like that does not look good. I mean, if you would have told me when I was first scouting, Purdy, that this pass is going to be a good one, I would have said no way. Well, that he'd be playing right now, I would have said no way. But he put some fire behind that.
Yeah, the best is, if you guys haven't seen it, just Google or go on Twitter and Google Aiyuk, and it'll probably be one of the first pictures that come up. But when he comes up out of here with his helmet in his mouth, or his face mask in his mouth, his helmet, like
that's awesome.
It's an amazing picture. It's just freaking tough because he needed to be tough for that play. He just pretty much won the game with that catch, him and Purdy together.
Yeah,
should have.
Yeah, he's definitely stepped up with Debo out. Yeah. So he's shown something this year.
Sure. All right. Last play. Okay. And look, Gold missed the field goal. I was yelling. I was mad. I was pissed. I was like, after all that, after not playing well the whole entire or half of the game defensively, to get in that situation.
Pretty much the entire game.
Not playing well, and for Purdy to get, to go down with a minute left, get the ball with a minute 11 left, and go down the field and get in field goal range. I mean, here it is, right? It's on a platter, Gold. Like, you need to finish. But we love Gold. So, and he ends up coming through in the end, which is ultimately all that matters. All right. So, Raiders get the ball. And Bosa decides to win the game for us again, like he did last week, as we talked about in the last video. So let's look at Bosa here on the top. Pay attention to him as we run the play.
Yeah. Anyway, but so beforehand, if I remember correctly, they got the ball and they had all three timeouts today, or not?
So they got the ball.
It was overtime.
No, this is overtime.
Overtime, so they have two timeouts.
This is overtime. First down, run.
Yes, so they don't care about the clock.
Run.
So they ran the ball three times in a row.
3 times in a row,
and the third one they got.
This is 2nd and 10.
Stuffed, right?
They got a first down, and
they put the Shanahan game of running one time too many.
Yep.
So they got stuffed. So now we're in a 2nd down and 10 or like 9 and 2/3 situation. So. The smart thing to do here would be pass, but they did run the ball a lot on 2nd and 10, so who knows?
Yeah, and they have just 2 wide receivers in with a fullback and a tight end, and not Waller as the tight end, which is interesting. All right, so let's run it.
Yep, we have man up at top.
Yeah, we're man up top with Ward, and
he's in tight. Gives him the inside.
And just enough.
Oof.
And here comes Gipson down the line. Almost makes it.
You know who the best blocker was in this play was Bosa.
Yeah, he barely touched him.
Did you see him?
Yeah, that's all.
He just stood there.
He just stood there in his way. He knows he's going to crack that, right?
Yeah. Like,
all right, so
after he finishes like his portion of the play, then he just doesn't do it. He's like, I'm done. He's like McGlinchey, but he actually does things right. And then he just stands there.
All right. So on this play, we're worried about Adams, right? We got word on Adams is what we want to see.
This throw is going to Adams before the play starts. I mean, this isn't going to Adams. It's going to Adams. It's going to Adams. Like, there's only might as well just run one guy in this play because he knows. I mean, look at he looks over there at the end.
So what I think is interesting here, which is a smart move by Ryan, is although they have looks like they have a Hufanga moving on Hollins as he goes in motion to come down and play, and they do have Gipson going back. I want you to notice where Gibson's feet are. Right, he's right on the hash. Right, he's not in the middle of the field. He's on the hash, right? He's looking, and you see right off the bat right now, as soon as he sees that it's not a run, his eyes are going, and he's fading towards where he needs to go, right? He's fading towards Adams to help out. So, like you said,
it's pretty obvious where the play is going.
Yeah,
and we have even the linebacker on that side is that
I think that's Aziz on top. Yep.
Wait, who's on the bottom then?
That's Burks on the bottom.
What's that?
That's Burks on the bottom.
Oh, was Greenlaw? Was he knocked out?
Greenlaw was out. Greenlaw's out this time. He got knocked out.
Okay.
Yep. Not knocked out, but knocked out again.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'd rather have Ward in there. I don't know. Anyway, but the whoever the linebacker is on the top does a pretty good job of, he knows that he's concerned about potential slant or some type of in-breaking route, the way that Ward is allowing Devontae to obviously to get inside here.
Yeah.
But I mean, he was gonna he was gonna throw this ball no matter what.
No matter what. Yep. No matter what happened. But
I'd be shocked if he looked anywhere else.
No, he didn't. He was looking there the whole entire time.
Yeah. I mean, as soon as they lined up, I'm like, I know where the ball's going. I hope that they know.
Yep. All right. So
they don't even fake they didn't even fake a play action or anything like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
All they do is have their the running back get out into the flat, so he draws our linebacker down, and they're running a clear out route over the middle, hoping that Gibson's gonna follow that, and he's just gonna sling this ball to Adams no matter what.
Yeah.
And the no matter what is that Bosa just took their left tackle and just picked him up and sort of threw him into the quarterback.
He threw him into the lap of the quarterback, as someone used to say on it. He has the left tackle almost sitting on Stidham's leg right now.
Yeah. If you look at the rest of the actually, I mean, if you look at the whole line, it's not like the tackle's getting beat per se.
Yeah.
He's just giving up ground.
Yeah.
And it's just a bad play by the quarterback, because the quarterback needs to move around the pocket. He stands stationary in the middle of the pocket, and just because all he's thinking about is Adams on this play. Just like some of his earlier bombs. I mean, and just to throw that ball is just, it's idiotic. We're just look at Bosa just standing there. Actually, I mean, he sort of blocked the guy. But
he kind of touched him.
I think he's so worried about getting penalized for anything he does.
Yeah. Because
they love to call penalties against him, just nothing for him. That he tries to do, something. Whatever he does is you can't possibly penalize him for. After he does his potential sacking, or sacking and fumble.
So those are the plays that we're going to run through. Happy, a little worried about the defense after that, and hopefully they can comes to the table. I think the last couple of weeks, as soon as they clinched the title for NFC, I felt like there was a potential for a letdown, and hopefully this was that letdown where they pulled back a little bit and they didn't come, but they were still able to win the game because they're such a good team.
Yeah.
And they balled out. I mean, Purdy came up big. McCaffrey, I know we didn't show his one big run, but McCaffrey came up big as well as he usually does. But another dub for the Niners, and we're sitting pretty at 12-4 with a chance of getting the top seed or the number 2 seed in the playoffs. Any last thoughts before we get out of here?
Yeah, I think we are the number 2 right now, right?
Yeah, technically, yeah.
And I mean, as far as I'm just looking at the receiving numbers here. Aiyuk had 101 on 12 targets, so like that to him. And then McCaffrey had 72 yards, and then no one else had over 46. So Jennings had 46, McLeod had 42, because they gave him credit as a. I'm trying to think, didn't he? I thought McLeod was that this game or last game that he had a reverse.
No, this was the screen. This is the screen.
Okay, the screen. Yeah, I know he had a fairly
he had a long run after the screen.
Yeah, but I guess they counted the screen as a pass because they gave him 42. It was 42-yard screen. So yeah, I mean, if you look at the longs, McCaffrey's long is 38, Jennings' long is 28. And he had 46. McLeod's long is 42, and he had 42.
Yeah.
So we were, and then Kittle really didn't do too much. He caught 4 of 8 targets for 23 yards, but they were really focusing on him. They were, they didn't want McCaffrey to beat them, even though he sort of did. McCaffrey had like 120 some yards on the ground too. So, and then I think, but Aiyuk had a nice reverse. I think even Juice had like a nice run today. So, it was a game where we were efficient in the passing game when we caught the ball. so we weren't necessarily overly efficient in the passing game. So what do we average? I mean, I think it was okay, but it wasn't anything spectacular. But it was the Yak Bro portion of the Shanahan offense that really came out, along with McCaffrey, who's proven to be quite the pickup that we made this year.
That's for sure. All right, well, another Niners win, another happy Wilson brothers. That's for sure.
At the time, mildly happy. But at the end of the year, all that matters is the number of wins. Doesn't matter. I mean, and I've been concerned for a while that that we peaked too early. So if this was our letdown and we can get back on track, then that would be fantastic. Because this, I mean, the division is ours, the conference is ours, the Super Bowl is ours if we want it. We just need to pick up the coaching and, play smart on the field, and Purdy needs to keep on Purdying.
All right, let's go get it. Until next time, guys, go Niners.
All right, go Niners.